In a few weeks, I will be moving back home. Right now, I am packing all of my things, and every day, my apartment becomes less and less like a home. It's funny that this series here that you are watching is also about that. I'm in a journey to reconnect to my old base, the place that still feels like home. This whole moving out got me nostalgic about my older Minecraft worlds and the bases I used to have. But upon taking a closer look at my old builds, I realized something really fascinating. As it turns out, I carried a little bit of those bases with me as I moved on. So, before we continue this journey of reconnecting to this world, let me take you to my old bases so we can examine what I bring with me as I craft this world. My first long-running world was on the PlayStation 4. It was called Atlas. It was here that I learned how to play Minecraft and experimented with its mechanics. I built this little house early on and have lived here since the beginning. My plan was to build a town on this island and have all of the villagers roaming around. I built a storage room across the street, a library to keep some of my enchanted books, a potion shop, and a watchtower. There was also a lighthouse and a ship. I had plans to build an extensive sewer system, which I never really got around doing. I remember having so much fun playing here. At the time, I only had a little bit of time to play during the week, so every Friday night I would log in and slowly work on my base. I think I got a lot done considering the amount of time I played here. This was not my first world ever, but this was the first time I played the game with the goal in mind. I learned from this world that I can achieve a lot if I'm patient. There's also a few cool ideas that I carried with me, such as the sewers under the city, which appears on every city I build afterwards. My second world was Antica, which I created when I moved to Java on the PC. In my first few days, I built a small castle, but ended up moving out soon after completing it. This time I wanted to build a castle at the top of this mountain, with a sprawling medieval city around it. I got all the essentials covered, with unlimited iron supply, librarians trading the most important books, a super smelting factory with a lava farm under it, and a more organized storage room. But for some reason, I slowly lost interest in this world. I don't think I had a clear vision of what I wanted this to be, so I could never finish anything. I learned here that I needed to plan everything carefully, even if I needed to make use of some external tools for that. It is very easy to lose focus when there's just so much to do in this game. I never realized this before, but this is exactly how my current base turned out to be. Also a castle in the mountains. With the new Caves and Cliffs update introducing a new world generation, I made the decision to quit Antica for good. I created Vega, my third world, and started off by building a house, very similar to the one in Atlas. I took things slowly this time, carefully planning what to do and what to build next. I wandered around the world for a long time, but finally I started to build yet another city by this big ocean, with multiple farms to supply me with the right materials. This world had a different outcome. I didn't really stop playing here, and instead I turned it into a creative world, where I kept pushing the limits of the game with commands and other inaccessible blocks from survival. I also used this world as the setting of my first story on the channel, which, by the way, I will finish one day. This world taught me that there is no such thing as cheating in the single-player world. It's okay to use some game mechanics from creative to enhance my single-player experience in survival. Also, when making my first series, I made use of many characters to tell stories. Combining everything I learned, I created Antares, my current world. But before playing on it, I wrote down a few rules I should follow in order to make gameplay a bit more engaging. I did cover some of them before, but what's important to know now is that I play using different characters, and every time I die with one of them, another one takes their place. This is how I tied everything together, and it allowed me to create not just a base, but a place that feels like home. So in my first life, I built the exterior of the base I planned to live in. I imagined a castle in the mountains with endless passages underground and a massive library in its center. I managed to complete the exterior in about 100 days, but doing the interior was going to fall under the tasks of my next life. With Ptolemy, I decorated the interior and moved in. After finishing those details, I came down from the mountains. I had decided to develop the areas around my base, transforming it into a kingdom. I worked on the nearby village, creating roads, improving some houses, building a wall and a dock. It didn't make sense to have farmers here, so the fishing boats would be their way of acquiring food. Next, I extended the roads all the way to spawn. Emerald Way is almost 900 blocks long, cutting through some pretty rough terrain. My goal, however, was not to connect the castle to spawn, but to reach this flat land here. This would be the ideal place for farming. I brought some workers from Norvig, the fishing town I had just developed, and quickly put together a house for them to live in. One day, as I was walking back to the castle, I accidentally fell into this cave by the side of the road. That was my second death. This sudden death meant that I had to leave my current projects behind for now and move on to newer things. This is one of the side effects of dying in this world. Looking at what I accomplished during Ptolemy's time, I felt excited for the future. By developing the areas around my base, suddenly the castle had a purpose to exist. It didn't feel so cut off. And this gave me many more ideas for the future. Almost 1,000 days have passed since I made any progress in that town. I'm in my 7th life now, and the world started to feel too big. As I tried to reclaim the ruins of my base, I came to yet another ruined city, deep underground. I choose different tasks to complete for each episode, and today it is time to face the deep dark. Avoiding the warden was easier than I thought. I did trigger a few times, but I always managed to get to safety and wait for it to leave. I collected a lot of valuable items down here, including 2 enchanted golden apples. I believe this is the first one I ever got after all these years playing Minecraft. I also found music discs, echo shards, potions, skeleton skulls, and many enchanted books. I added Swift Sneak to my new diamond leggings, and was now able to move around the city much more efficiently. As I got more confident wandering around, I took a closer look at the details of this place. This was my first time exploring one, and I already had some preconceptions about it. But being down here was different. I started to wonder how and why this was built. It seems that all of the roads lead to the altar located at the center of the city. Candles were placed around a massive statue, and under it some experiments were hidden. Whoever built this place clearly had some advanced understanding of redstone. Many believe that the statue in question is a portal, even though no one knows how to make it work. Is that where Skulk comes from then? Is there a Skulk dimension somewhere that is now leaking into our world? Every now and then, I came across some unusual structures that felt out of place. Constructions made of dark oak indicate that someone else had been down here. They probably had some knowledge about the warden, as they brought carpets to avoid making any noise. I believe it's common knowledge among the community that these were brought by the pillagers. I do think that this makes a lot of sense, and the best part is that it fits the narrative I'm trying to achieve in my own story. Pillagers play a very important role in this world. As I prepared to leave this ancient city, I gave one last look at it. If this was someone else's base, they have probably abandoned it a long time ago. Back to the surface, I returned home with an urge to expand my current house. A good base receives constant care, I believe. Last thing I want is for it to fall to ruins, just like Ptolemy Town, or even worse, an ancient city. As I am not allowed back at the castle just yet, I have a small little base in the woods where I'm living for the time being. Looking back at all the bases I ever had, and everything that I learned from the past few years, I can clearly see the parallels with real life. I'm going back home soon, and wherever I ended up being, I know I will bring all of those things with me to my new home. So, while I work on the expansion of my current base, let me update you guys on a few things. First of all, as I'm moving to another place, my next video might take a bit longer to be uploaded. In the meantime, you can check my older videos. I have redesigned the way I organize my playlists and divided them into arcs, where each arc is a separate story that makes up the timeline. I should say that I didn't plan for them exactly this way when I made those older videos, but I rewatched some of them and I think they work best this way moving forward. Second is that a while ago I reached a huge milestone in this channel, so thank you all for the support. I created a Patreon page, so if you're interested in joining, check out the link below. I will be posting some extra bits of lore in there, as well as some artwork I make. Or there's also the YouTube membership if you're interested. Lastly, a quick update here in Glacia, my alpha world. A while ago I built the crypts and asked if some of the viewers were interested in giving me names to fill the tombs. I got 2 new names to add here today. This is for Raine. And this is for Leo. I still got 7 more spaces here, so let me know if you want your name here as well. I am optimistic about the future of the series. Making this episode took me a long time, but the more I worked on it, the more excited I was about the things to come. I can't wait to show more of the stuff that I'm working on in my alpha world, which will be the series I'm planning to do after I reclaim my old base. So subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.